The whole reason we came down to San Diego County was so that we can help her load up all that stuff in the bed of the truck and take her with us up to Portland.
I'm grateful, man. Oh, how could I complain?
It's hot. But there are some pretty areas of Northern California, Mount Shasta National Forest being one of them. I gotta admit, there's some pretty here. But gas is expensive.
Yes, it is.
All kinds of fuel are really expensive here. Doesn't matter. My babies are that way.
Thank you.
We're going to see our babies.
Yes, we're going to see our babies.
You ready, babe? Come on, kids. That's good. Look at this one. Come on.
He's checking for stickers.
Bunches of them. Stay thinks. Those weren't stuck in. They were just on there. She's fine. Come here, Tinks. Babe, wait. Come on, Tinks. Can I see your feet? You want to play your mutlocks with Tinks? Her super gravity trick she doesn't work right now.
I know. The muttlocks just slide on the sand or on the dirt.
By her trick, I mean, without those mutlocks on, if she doesn't want to move, suddenly she becomes 3 times her own weight. I think she digs her claws into the ground. You can't move her hardly.
Yeah, that was exactly the trail I thought it was going to be. Nice little parameter trail.
Just walk around the property.
It's perfect.
Okay. You guys ready? You guys ready? Let's go for a walk. Come on. Come on, back. What's this right here? It's okay. What's this? Just sniff. It's okay. Look, sniff. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, you want to touch it again? It's okay. Come on, let's go. Come on. Good girl. Yes, man. Good girls. Like that, don't you, girl? Good girl. Yes, babe. Okay, let's go. Okay, hurry. Everybody hurry. Good girls. Okay, walk. Stay with me. Good girls. We are just north of Sacramento, California. Beautiful morning. Gorgeous out here. Temperature finally dropped. Over the last couple of days, it's been between 99 and 106. Pretty little RV park, 1,000 trails, out in the middle of farmland. Anyway, we get a morning walk in with the girls. Come on, babies, let's go.
We were driving along and needed to get out of the truck to get headset out for Ray for her to take a meeting. And I wanted to come into this parking lot for a park, that I saw to turn around to go back to the freeway, and it just so happens to have a dog park. It's got a small dog section and a large dog section. This was a pretty cool find because we're driving for a couple of hours today, so this will be nice for the dogs. They supply water, but they don't supply dog poop bags.
What we have here is the original regulator that came with our rig when we bought it. Notice the connections where the hoses attach. They're starting to get a little corroded. They're getting a little loose. And over here on the right, we haven't been using the right side for the last 2 weeks. Thank goodness it's been warm, but haven't been using it because we get leaks right there on that side. The regulator's worn out. We can hear it buzzing from time to time. That's another indication we have problems with the regulator. Sometimes we'll get an error light on our freezer, but we have perfect fuel to the stove. That's an indication of potential pressure problems with the regulator. So we just got ourselves a new regulator. I'm going to put it in. These things are kind of cool. They don't read very accurately. So once it gets down to yellow, you might have a day, you might have a couple of hours. You can't really tell. But all it really does is tell you if you've got pressure coming through. Like if you got the tank sticking here, there's a little nozzle that gets pressed down inside here that actually releases when this is open. It doesn't just flow out if you open it up. Something has to press on that. And that's done by the snipple. Well, sometimes that thing gets stuck and nothing comes through. This won't show pressure properly until that works. So it's handy for getting that problem solved instead of running back and forth to make sure that you've got gas or not. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. You notice how everything's made of brass? Reckon why that is. Brass don't spark. You can't spark against brass. Not possible. And for your highest safety, when you're working with anything related to gas, you really should be using brass tools, but those aren't readily available, so be careful and don't spark. And when you got this on there, that actually impedes a good connection, because you got too many layers of this stuff on. You shouldn't go more than a single layer, maybe a layer and a half. That's got to get picked off and redone properly. All right. So I went through the hassle of putting it all together. Got it all back on there. You need to see me struggle with the nut. I sprayed that guy with this soapy water. And at first it was bubbling like hell. So I took it apart and I retaped it. Remember I said earlier you gotta use a 1 row of tape? I was wrong. Put a bunch on it. That stopped the leaking. We're good to go. Oh, Miss Tinker just experienced a fun event down at a stream that goes right by this campsite. There was a bunch of fish that she could see in the water, and she didn't pay much attention on the way out, but on the way back she stopped looking up the bank for squirrels and looked out toward the creek and saw something and dove in the water. And once she saw that it was cool water, she swam around a little bit and then wanted to come home. And Christy's gets to do all the work of drying them off for the fun of this, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Have a good
See
time.
that's called a good woman right there.
Air
right
conditioning.
There. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like 90 degrees out right now. It's really hot. Fish? Get him back. Get him back. All right, you act like you want a stick thrown or something. You want a stick? Go get a stick.
Here we are, we're having our truck and trailer wash professionally.
I feel the music running through my veins. I'm grateful, man. Oh, how could I complain?
We're in Hemet, California. Okay, come on guys, this way. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
That's not a dog park.
like I said.
That's a potty.
Yeah. You guys want to walk in? Sniff where other dogs would see? Do that. Go on in there. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Wow. Desert. This is how it is.
There we are. Yes, it's hot here. Hey, is that Mr. Gus? It's Gus.
Yeah, before we got here, we mentioned that Gus was coming, and she was laying on the floor before that, and all of a sudden her head perks up, her ears perk up, and she goes up to the window and she starts
Looking
at the
around.
window.
She's looking everywhere for Gus. Tinker, that's Gus. Gus, that's Tinker. Yeah, that's Tinker.
Some hair standing up.
She
there.
looks so tiny next to him.
She does. Her hair's just standing up a little bit.
Yeah, that's just her being a little nervous. But not as bad as when she goes to dog parks and she meets new dogs.
Gus is all down. What? No, they're popping it.
Oh, I missed you so much. Yeah, no. That's enough. No licks, huh? No licks. Hey, you good boy. You be in hog heaven staying with us for a couple weeks, ain't you, boy?
It's still the quiet time, so I'm not wanting to really talk, but we are at KQ Ranch RV Resort in Julian, California. We're in the dog park. Hi, babe. Looks like there's trails you can take around here. And then we're walking back up the way we came from where our trailer was parked. We're up on the ridge. And you see pretty flowers. And the bees really like these guys too. Hey, you can see where we are. Just over there. Hot ground, hot ground. Hi, Tink. Hot ground, hot ground. Oh, that's a better toy. Oh, good girl, Bae. Good girl. Don't.
Right?
Go get it. Go get it.
Get it, Gus.
Aw.
Okay, Gus's. I have no idea what to do, but I made a huge mistake. I have made a huge He says, okay, I'm having it.
Good girl, Bae.
Come on in. Come in. Come on. Come on.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Good boy.
Come here. You can get it.
Sure.
There you go.
There you go. Good boy, Gus. Yay. Good job.
He's like, I did it.
Does Kate ever get it?
In other water, she's never had this opportunity. Well, good job, Bae. Good girl. Woo! Good job, Bae. Now this is normal.
You have to share.
It's a team effort there carrying that back.
Sorry.
Carolyn's apartment, we just moved a bunch of her stuff to the bed of my truck. I came in to get my water, and I'm taking her dog Gus with me back over to my place. But I wanted to share at least a little bit of the experience. The whole reason we came down to San Diego County was so that we can help her load up all that stuff in the bed of the truck and take her with us up to Portland. And there she is saying goodbye to Gus because she's not going to see him for 24 hours. And now that I'm back at my place, Ray is generously helping me reorganize all of Carolyn's belongings and strapping it all down. And then we're going to put a tarp over it all so that there's less chance of rain getting in there if we hit any. We are at Bae's favorite dog park. You may remember it from episode 1 in season 1.
There she goes.
Tinker! Here, Tinker! Good girl! Good girl! She's so happy. A couple of fires
Next week on the local pond.
within 20 miles of us, I should say. The closest one is about 10 miles from us.
If you have any questions, comments, or requests, please leave them
Here we
below.
follow the adventures of the native photographer seeking a pretty shot. Still smoking. There's a fire to the southeast from where we are, and the winds are blowing west, so we're hoping to drive out of this smoke today.
Please remember to
Like, subscribe.
and share.